Good morning. Oh, am I on? There we go. Good morning, dear hearts. How is everybody this morning? You well? Very good. It seems like we are all women here. The guys are all in the kitchen getting the brunch ready. Okay, good. And welcome to those of you who are online with us this morning. We're delighted to have you as well. I'm Reverend Mary Murray Shelton. I'm the community spiritual leader here at Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living. I'm very happy to welcome you. And the way that we begin here is by greeting each other. So I'm going to invite you to stand up and walk around, all around the room, say hello to everyone, make sure people get greeted and that you get greeted too. So go ahead and do that. And for those of you who are at home this morning and watching us, what have I done here? We're going to begin to be back in just a few moments for the opening song, and so I'm going to encourage you to give yourself a hug and get ready for a beautiful morning with us right now. All right, now that we've established everybody's presence here together this morning, I want to introduce our special musician, Jeannie Skybrook. She has been a musician since birth, pretty much, actually. She started performing at age 8 in her father's church, and she never stopped. From church music, she moved into folk music, then bluegrass, country, swing, blues, and she's performed in groups and as a duo throughout the Midwest and the West, and now performs solo, having moved from guitar to ukulele, and her current favorite, which is Hawaiian music. Now, we're not going to hear any Hawaiian music this morning, but we do get to experience Jeannie with the ukulele. She has also been a member of the Marin Symphony Chorus and a volunteer performer for Bread and Roses, both of those for more than 30 years. And she is a frequent singer at Unity, and we're happy to welcome her this morning. So please welcome Jeannie Skybrook and stand to sing the opening song. Yeah.
I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace. I've got peace like a river in my soul.
You may be seated. I'm going to encourage you to go ahead and silence your cell phone now so we won't be interrupted as we go forward. And I'm going to invite our morning prayer practitioner, Frank Lang, up to pray us in.
Good morning. An early teacher of mine wrote a children's book for meditation in which he instructed the readers, breathe in the good stuff, breathe out the bad stuff. I think a more mature reading of that would be in line with Science of Mind. Breathe in the good stuff, breathe out the good stuff. We may not need it. We may be letting it go. It may be something that no longer serves us, but we can call it good. So I ask you just to breathe with me a couple times. Breathe in the good stuff. Breathe out what you don't need, what you let go, what you've already used. Remembering that it is a gift to something else. The plants, for example, take the gases that we exhale and they make food. They make beauty to delight us. Oh, and they make the oxygen that we breathe. It's a perfect cycle. The universe works that way. Take another breath, breathe out. Breathe out gratitude. Breathe out an intention. Breathe out an affirmation. Breathe out a prayer. So I begin this prayer by speaking the truth, and the truth is only God. Only God, and all of this is it, right where we are, is the fullest expression of Spirit, perfectly formed in us, working through us. We receive it, we let it go. We receive it again, let it go. I do this, and I know that each and every one of the people here, and each and every person in the sound of my voice, and all of our relations are doing the same. We do it with consciousness. We do it with gratitude. We do it with thanksgiving. We acknowledge it. We allow it. We accept it. We appreciate it. And when we leave here, we act on it. We're always connected to that self-givingness of God that is love, that is light, and that is life itself. Prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. So I give thanks for the answered prayer. I give thanks for the gift of Spirit moving through each and every one of us, creating health, happiness, wholeness, peace, ease, comfort, joy. And all of the other gifts of Spirit, they are ours. We receive them always. They are never apart. We are not separate from them, but we are fully connected. And so it is right here, right now, in me, as it is in every other person here. So, with a heart full of gratitude and thanksgiving, I say, thank you, Lord, and I give it to the law, and let it be, and so it is.
Well, I'm very happy to be here today. I think about you. I knew I would see people here, I know. I actually came here once, it was in the early 90s. The chairs were facing that way. Does anybody remember that? Okay. I have a long story of where my spiritual path has been, but actually I was with the Marin Church of Religious Science for a while. You were there. Yeah. Now I'm going to do a song that I think y'all know because it's by Karen Drucker. And so even though the words aren't up there, because this is supposed to be my solo song, I believe that everybody should sing all the time. We should sing our conversations, right? Yeah. Anyway, so you can sing with me. Okay. In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. Sing it with me. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when I feel I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I hear Spirit gently say, there is only love, there is only love, love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love, there is only love, there is only love, love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love.
Thank you, Jeannie. Now we are in the month of October, where we are deepening our faith. So last week I talked about the process of deepening faith by making a choice, making a focus and intention, making a commitment to it and practicing that. And I must admit, over this past week, I did okay with that, but it wasn't perfect. So I have further to go, and maybe that's true of you as well, as we are now in our second week of our commitment program. This is our 2025 commitment program, and the theme of it is uplifting our consciousness. And how do we uplift consciousness? The intention of this 8-week program is for us to increase our experience of faith and also our experience of prosperity and abundance in the world, individually and collectively. So we have to lay a foundation for that and actually do the activities in consciousness that help that expansion take place. It isn't just, say a prayer and hope for the best. It really is a regular practice of deepening. And so each week, when you came in today, you got a little handout, right? And it says, the action that invites surprises, because that's the theme of my talk today. What is the action that invites surprises? I'm going to tell you about that. in just a little while. But first, each week, the other thing that we're doing is we are having one of our members share what is valuable to them about being here, being part of the Center for Spiritual Living. And this morning, our sharer is Johanna Hughes. So, Joe, come on up and stand right up here where they can see you on the camera.
I'm sure you will spot me, won't you?
I will.
Just make sure I got my elbow.
Got your elbow. All right. There you go.
Hey.
All right, there. It's all yours.
Well, goodness sakes. Can you hear me? Great. It's been quite
They
a
can't
journey.
hear you on YouTube unless you use the microphone. You have to hold it
I do.
like that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's quite a journey. I want to preface anything I say by telling you how much you've touched my heart, my collective, 32 years in this church. My injury was serious. It's ongoing, but it's healing. Mm-hmm. Let's know that it's healing. So in terms of my deepest practice is meditation. Almost 50 years of transcendental meditation and Vedic. So I asked the question in the deepest moment, what can I share with you, my family, about my process of 3 months? And what came up was beautiful. It was just beautiful. It said, heal, heart, ever going forward, and with love, healing, H-E-A-L, heart, everlasting, ongoing, and in love. And of course, hope was the next big concept that we're working for, that gives us the power to do our spiritual uplifting and grounding. So hope is, again, the heart, opening, perpetually everlasting. Thank you for being my family. Thank you.
Mm. Thank you, Joe.
One moment.
Yes. Great. And for those of you that don't know, Joe was doing the altar for us a couple months ago-ish, and fell off of something she was standing on and really badly broke her ankle, broke both major bones, and she's healing beautifully, healing just beautifully. But we really did, yes, we really did get a chance to gather around her, literally on the floor here, and also in consciousness, and that was great. So thank you, everybody, for that. And also, we focus each week, or we bring to our awareness each week, one of the spiritual principles, and also a world religion that kind of reflects that type of spiritual principle. And so this week, our color is orange, and we think of Hinduism in that color. And the spiritual principle we're looking at is the threefold nature of God and human beings. And of course, in Hinduism, we have the creator, the sustainer, and the destroyer, the threefold expression of the divine presence, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Whereas in Science of Mind, we talk about spirit, which in us is our consciousness, our awareness, the soul, or the creative law, which is our subconscious operation, and the body, or form, everything that's in form. And how those three are all one. They are all expressions of the divine presence. And we are kind of the reflection of that, the hologram of that, the subset of that. So all of those are active in us as well. So as we're looking to actually uplift our consciousness, we're going to sing together every week. And we're going to sing this particular song, you'll see it in just a minute, which was written by Daniel Namod, but he does quite a slow version of it, and we wanted something snappy and upbeat. So this is Nathan Aswell, and this is Up, 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 Higher Place. So stand up, we're going to sing this together right now. You know this song, the words will be on the screen. And here's Nathan.
Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up, up to a higher place. place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. No more forward, no more backward, no more spinning around and around. My life is moving ever upward. My feet are leaving the ground. Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. No more downward, no more darkness, no more wondering the point of it all. My life is destined, oh, for greatness. My soul has answered the call. Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Feel my soul rising to a higher place. Feel my soul rising to a higher place.
I should probably have you all sing that sitting down and then stand up at the end since your soul is rising to a higher place. But then you'd have to stand there the whole time, and that probably wouldn't be great. So, the action that invites surprises. What is the action that invites surprises? And why would we care? When we open in receptivity, we're extending an invitation out to the universe. We're inviting the universe to bring us more. Now, whatever the general atmosphere of our consciousness is, whatever the general energy of our beingness is, that is what the universe is going to match and bring back to us. That's all it has to go by. That's our blueprint, the vibration we're carrying. And sometimes we have a hard time when the universe introduces to us something difficult. We have a hard time maintaining that kind of upbeat intention and atmosphere. The owner of a manufacturing plant decided he'd make a surprise tour of his shop. And as he was walking through the warehouse, he noticed a young man who was just leaning against a packing crate, just standing there. He went over to the guy and he said, "Just how much are you being paid a week?" This was quite a while ago. The young man goes, $100. So the boss pulled out his wallet, peeled off 5 20s and handed it to him and said, "Here's a week's pay. Get out and don't come back." And the young man took the money, put it in his pocket, and left. So then the boss went over to the warehouse manager and he said, "Tell me, how long has that guy that was over there been working here?" And the warehouse manager glanced up and over and he said, "Oh, him? Oh, he doesn't work here. He was just making a delivery." Sometimes we leap to a conclusion because we have been sparked negatively and we're not exactly happy about it, right? And when we feel resistant and angry, we can take an action that we later wish we hadn't been so quick to jump in that particular direction. Ernest Holmes wrote in Creative Mind, "The best way to arrive at the highest consciousness is to have a great faith in the willingness and the ability of life to do all for us by working through us. That's the key thing, by working through us. We kind of make ourselves the blueprint for what it is that's coming forward. So the way that we live, the way that we talk, the way that we think most of the time, the way that we live, whatever the set point is that we land in terms of our energy and our mood, that's the real prayer. Because that's consistent. It's happening all the time. And we're carrying it around with us and doing it automatically. And the universe goes, oh, I get it. Okay, here you can have more of that. And it's not exactly what we were thinking we wanted to invite. So what we want to be able to do is welcome the surprises that come into our lives, even when they aren't exactly what we thought we were looking for. That's the tricky part. If we believe that the universe has an ability and a willingness to bring us our highest good, and that it is the intention of the universe to bring us our highest good, then one of the things the universe wants to do is support us in our growth in understanding and coming to a realization of who we are, what our essence really is. We don't, most of us, come into the world with an awareness of the wholeness, of the God is all there isness of ourselves and of the universe. And so each lesson, each experience, each gift that comes to us nudges us further in that direction. So the surprises that come can be wonderful or not so wonderful, but what's underneath them is a prodding for us to expand our consciousness, to grow. In Words That Heal Today, Ernest Holmes wrote, "Why is it so difficult for us to have faith?" The answer is simple enough. We are so weighted with experiences that contradict faith. It is not easy to turn from negative conditions to positive faith in God. Carefully, we should cultivate the smallest spark of faith. And we should always be reminding ourselves that there is a power upon which we may rely. We must throw ourselves with complete abandonment into this power, for it will never fail us. Now, if this month of October, our intention is to deepen our faith, what that means is that in the midst of whatever's going on, we also want to continue to rely on the infinite, to know that we have that behind us and supporting us, and to step forward into that with whatever degree of faith we already have. We possess it, but like a muscle, we have to use it so that it can grow and become stronger. If we don't use it, it either atrophies or it just sits there kind of fallow and not really doing anything. Noam Chomsky said, "Optimism is a strategy for making a better future. Because unless you believe that the future can be better, it's unlikely you will step up and take responsibility for making it so. If you assume that there's no hope, you guarantee that there will be no hope." So what he's essentially saying is that our belief leads us forward in terms of the action that we take, in terms of the level of faith and hope that we feel. So if we have just a little bit of faith, if we believe that occasionally God notices us and something good happens, that's a good place to start. Let it be that we expand that just a little bit, that we trust just a little bit more, that we make just a little bit more space for that part of ourselves, because when we're welcoming surprises, both the ones we love and the ones we don't, what happens with a surprise is that it shakes the status quo. So say you're 10 years old and you receive a bike for Christmas, and you kind of know how to ride it, but not really totally yet. So here's something that shakes up the status quo. It's a wonderful gift to receive as a 10-year-old, but the bike itself isn't going to give us any freedom unless we get on it and ride it, unless we take a hold of our fear and make an attempt to get better at that particular thing and go forward with it. So also, this wonderful gift, it shakes up the status quo. It kind of pushes us into our vulnerability. We have to be willing to maybe fall off skin and knee, look stupid, feel vulnerable. It opens us up to growth, to a particular kind of confronting the unknown and doing it with willingness and growing confidence so that we can get better at that. So that's a positive gift, but it requires something of us. If we win the lottery, that's a positive gift, but it's going to require a lot of us, a lot more than learning how to ride a bike. Now, what about a negative? Say somebody that we love dearly is diagnosed with a terminal condition, and they're in hospice, and we know that they're going to be going on. They're going to be leaving this time and space. And we don't want to lose that person. We adore that person. We want them in our life, but we can see what's happening. The universe now is giving us a new gift. We have the opportunity to be with this dear one and to be, in a sense, a death doula with them, to help them on this side to feel complete, to move on. It asks a lot of us, but it's also a gift because we're discovering we can be there for somebody, maybe in a way that we never have before. It pushes us into our own feelings, our own vulnerability, our own openness, and looking ahead to what's next with as much love as we can. It initiates change. So great gifts in our lives, whether they're things that we wanted or things we would rather not experience, they initiate change in us that becomes, in some cases, almost irresistible. We have to respond to that. You know, Jane Goodall recently passed, and I was looking at an interview that was done with her some time ago, and she was talking about the next experience, and somebody asked her, something about death, if she was afraid to die or what she believed or something. I don't remember what the question was. And she said, well, when this experience ends, one of two things will happen. Either there will be nothing or there will be something. And she said, now, the experiences I've had and things that I've read and encountered in my life, I believe that there is something. But if there's nothing, I'll never know the difference anyway. But if there is something, she said, that I think is a very exciting idea to discover what that something is, what that something will be. And if it's nothing, well, it won't matter. I thought, what a great way to look forward to that. Like, if there's nothing, it doesn't make any difference anyway. But if what we believe is so, then there is a great adventure coming. It's not just Peter Pan who said this would be a good day to die. It's the recognition that whatever moment we make that transition, now we're in a new adventure. Or not, but I choose to believe we're in a new adventure. And I love that idea. But in preparation for that part of our experience, we too must go through a growth process. We too, if we're lucky enough to see that that's coming, then we have to face that with a new openness, a new vulnerability, because we don't necessarily know or maybe remember what's coming next. So we are provoked into a vulnerability and openness and opportunity to stretch and grow into that change. And I've seen this happen with a lot of people who are making their way toward that transition consciously and choosing to ask questions and to think deeply and to look back at their relationships and their life. Their status quo has been shaken up, but not just theirs, also everybody that they love around them. And I know that many of you have witnessed this or experienced this with loved ones as well. So Mahatma Gandhi said, when I despair, I remember that through all history, the way of truth and love have always won. There have been tyrants and murderers, and for a time they can seem invincible, but in the end they always fail. Think of it, always. So that was his message, not to lose heart, not to lose faith and be discouraged by anything frustrating and upsetting that we're experiencing, however immense we may sometimes think it is. We're instead looking toward, what can I welcome out of this? I'm here on earth at this time in the midst of whatever's going on. Why am I here? Why am I personally here? This isn't an accident. I'm not here to be abused or lost or discouraged or despair. No, I'm actually called to recognize those things and lift myself beyond them, to look beyond the appearances and to live with that kind of optimism that carries me past the appearances. You see, it is optimism that is the action that invites surprises. It invites growth. It invites increase. And so as we deepen our faith, we are entering into an acceptance of optimism as a way to do that. Lao Tzu said, be careful what you water your dreams with. Water them with worry and fear, and you will produce weeds that choke the life from your dream. Water them with optimism and solutions, and you will cultivate success. Always be on the lookout for ways to turn a problem into an opportunity for success. Always be on the lookout for ways to nurture your dream. Lao Tzu is the one who wrote the shortest scripture that we have, which is the Tao. Robert Brault said, an optimist is someone who figures that taking a step backward after taking a step forward is not a disaster. It's a cha-cha. So we are in this place of learning to cha-cha with the universe, with optimism, which is a great gift that we have available to us to share with others and maybe become the avenue for their experience of surprise and delight. It leads us, that optimism, it leads us to a change in our thinking and in our behavior. So on your little handout, it says I'm talking about 6 things we have to change to grow our faith. This is where I want to talk about those things. Optimism does these things to us. If we're really optimistic, if we're really changing our consciousness, the way we're thinking, it will be reflected in various ways in our lives. Our speech will change. We will stop gossiping. We will stop engaging in conversation that is cynical and thinking that is cynical. We will catch ourselves in those things and we will begin to stop them, to say, no. I've been dining on this same meal for a long time and it's not nourishing me very much. So I'm going to drop that, at least for this 8 weeks while I'm working on growing my faith. I'm going to drop that. I'm going to drop that cynical conversation, that kind of speech that finds fault. And I'm going to increase my expectancy of good. I'm going to welcome greater good in my life, but not only that, I'm going to look for it. I'm going to look for the tiniest little flash of good. Oh, I bumped that glass and it didn't fall over? Wonderful. That's a tiny little bit of good, and I can appreciate that in this moment. My cat decided to walk over and rub against my leg. That's a little blessing. That's a little expression of love, and I have a higher expectancy of good. Ernest Holmes said, learn to exchange fears, doubts, and uncertainties for faith. We want to put doubt aside. Yes, it will come up. Doubt will come up. It will try to talk you out of whatever practice you're doing that expands your faith. Just let it be. Don't fight it, but just put it aside. Doubt doesn't need to be in the driver's seat. Everybody has doubts from time to time. Just recognize it. Oh yeah, there you are. I know, you're shadow 52. That's okay. You stand over there. He says, learn to exchange fears, doubts, and uncertainties for faith. Faith can make you whole. Faith can convert fear into certainty, poverty into riches, disease into health. Faith can lift you from a valley of despair to a mountain of hope and certainty. There is a power which flows out through your words of faith. There is a law of faith which has the power to bring into your life everything you need. That's from his book, This Thing Called You, which of course is one of my favorites. So we're changing our speech. We're operating from greater optimism. We're ceasing that cynical speech. We're increasing our expectancy of good. We are putting our awareness toward not only the gifts we're receiving, but also what is it that weakens our faith? When we get into this behavior or this thought or this conversation, do I feel better or worse? Do I feel uplifted or heavier? And notice what is weakening my faith. It may be that during this 8-week period, you find that there are friends you usually hang around with that you need to take a break from. Folks who are really connected to Ain't It Awful. For this 8-week period, it might not be the best time to hang out with them. If you want to increase your faith, if you want to move away from activities that weaken faith and put doubt aside. And also, of course, we're going to continue the practices, maybe a little more consistently, that we started last week. The practices of focus, of having an intention and a focus, having a consistent practice and commitment. And it doesn't matter if the practice is going for a walk, or singing, or sitting down to pray and meditate, or having a conversation about faith, like the second Wednesday group that goes to have coffee and faith conversations and sharing with each other. So we have these commitments, these practices, these opportunities to cultivate and fertilize and water and increase the faith in our lives. All of these surprises are bringing us openings that we need. Surprises can set your hair on end, but at the same time, the surprises that come are always gifts. Years ago, when Richard Bach wrote Illusions, The Adventures of a Reluctant Messiah, one of the lines in there was, "There is no such thing as a problem without a gift for you in its hands." There is no such thing as a problem without a gift for you in its hands. Somebody said once, an optimist looks at opportunities and calls them obstacles. A pessimist looks at opportunities and calls them obstacles. An optimist looks at obstacles and calls them opportunities. I knew I'd get that right. That was an opportunity for me to get it right. So when we take advantage of those things, we allow ourselves then to lighten up a little bit, to recognize the value. Oh, here is a gift from Spirit that I wish I could pass. And just say, I opt out of this one. Thank you very much. One of our ministers said at one time, I have put the universe on notice that I have received enough opportunities for growth. But the truth is we really never have. As long as we're here breathing, there are more opportunities for learning and growth. And some of those are wonderful positive gifts that we receive. It might be the ideal job, or the home that you were looking forward to, or a relationship that nurtures and is mutually nourishing more so than you ever imagined. Those kinds of experiences that seem to drop into our laps like gifts, those are gifts of the universe. They cause us to have to rise to them, and that's our growth. Or we may receive gifts that are difficult, and usually the gifts that are difficult show up in our lives as losses. So when we're receiving things we love, those are like unexpected blessings. They came out of the blue, wherever the blue is. But the ones that we get that we don't like so much, those are usually losses that we need to grieve. It may mean the end of a career or a business. It may be the end of a relationship, or it may mean a diagnosis, or the loss of a treasured pet, or whatever. And those are all things that human beings universally experience. We all experience loss. That gives us a gift, and one of the gifts it gives us is greater empathy, greater understanding for other people going through that. When I was a young married woman, I was married to my ex-husband years ago, I was not very sympathetic or empathetic toward people who had experienced divorce. Then I experienced divorce, and my goodness, that changed things for me. Having the actual experience, even though it was painful and difficult, was the gift of then being able to be less self-righteous and more present and kind and supportive to people who were going through an experience that I previously hadn't understood, hadn't experienced, didn't have any awareness of. Do you know what I'm saying? Does this make sense? So everything the universe brings to us is a gift. And that is one of the wonderful and difficult things about being in this expression of life where our primary focus is learning more, growing, discovering who we are, discovering who everybody else is, what this universe is, and making space in our hearts for it. This is a story about a man who took a very scary, difficult situation and turned it into an opportunity for growth. In 1982, Stephen Callahan was crossing the Atlantic in his sailboat when it struck something and sank. He was outside the shipping lanes and floating alone in a life raft. His supplies were few. His chances were small. When 3 fishermen found him 76 days later, that's 2.5 months, the longest anyone has survived a shipwreck on a life raft alone, he was alive, much skinnier than when he started, but alive. His account of how he survived is fascinating. But the thing that caught my eye, says the writer, was how he managed to keep himself going when all hope seemed lost, when there seemed no point in continuing the struggle, when he was suffering greatly, when his life raft was punctured, and after more than a week struggling with his weak body to fix it, it was still leaking air and wearing him out, keeping on pumping it up. He was starved. He was desperately dehydrated and thoroughly exhausted. Giving up would have been the only sane option. When people survive in such circumstances, they do something with their minds that gives them the courage to keep going. Something survivors do with their thoughts helps them carry on in spite of overwhelming odds. I tell myself I can handle it, Callahan wrote in his narrative. Compared to what others have been through, I'm fortunate. I tell myself these things over and over, building up fortitude. The author of this little thing says, I wrote that down after I read it. And I've told myself the same thing when my own goals seemed far off or when my problems seemed too overwhelming. And every time I've said it, I've come back to my senses. The truth is, our circumstances are only bad compared to something better, but others have been through much worse. I've read enough history to know that we're lucky to be where we are, when we are, no matter how bad it seems compared to our fantasies. It's a sane thought and worth thinking. Coming to us from the extreme edge of survival are words that can give us strength. Whatever you're going through, tell yourself you can handle it. Compared to what others have been through, you're fortunate. Tell this to yourself over and over. It will help you get through the rough spots with a little more fortitude. Because you see, both kinds of blessings, that which we love and welcome with enthusiasm and that which we don't love quite so much or welcome with as much enthusiasm, both kinds of gifts are really necessary for us to gain all of the strength and ability and awareness and self-identity that we need as human beings in these spacesuits here. We need them because we don't know what's coming next on this plane or perhaps future ones. And yet we are building up, we're learning, we're growing, so that all of that becomes ours in our awareness, in our ability. We are becoming the God self that we are. And it's interesting, we've always been that. We're never going to be more holy than we are now, but we need to discover it. And it's through these blessings, both the ones we love and the ones we really don't, that we get the invitation and the opportunity to loosen up, to step into the vulnerability, to let our status quo be shaken up, and to grow, to deepen, to learn more, to discover the surprise of who we are. This is the action that invites surprises. So this week, as we grow our faith, take hold of optimism. Let it be the energy that's carrying you forward in your practices this week. Namaste. Thank you. Now let's go ahead and anchor this in prayer. So as we turn within, we remember and recognize, first of all, that there is only one. This one is infinite, everlasting, ever-present, unlimited by anything in form, and yet it flows into and through form as itself showing up as trees and people and grasses and little creatures. This oneness is whole. It is balanced. It is love. This is the essence of who and what we are right now, every one of us. And knowing this, I claim for all those of us in this room and those listening, that that optimism, however small or large, is alive in us. We take hold of it and call it forth, giving it greater freedom, giving it greater life and oxygen to live and express and be through us, to up-level our seeing, our hearing, our thinking, our communicating, and to allow us to rise in greater faith and consciousness into a place of knowing that the divine presence is right here, right now, absolutely reliable, that it is entirely attuned to us and responding immediately to our action, to our thought, to our words, to our intentions. And so we open those into a space of optimism and faith, and we call forth out of that infinite an even greater support for our optimism and faith, an encouragement that flows in, that reminds us, that lifts us, that leads us through self-forgiveness into a greater expression of gratitude and joy. I claim this for every one of us, and I accept it deeply as I release this prayer into the creative law of mind and spirit and simply let it go to do its work right now. And together we say, and so it is. I invite you to stand now and join me for the morning affirmation. As we say together, I speak from optimism. I relinquish doubt and cynicism, assuming good is coming to me now. I watch for it and welcome it, and so it is. Thank you. You may be seated. And would the ushers please come forward now? This is our sacred offering time. If you're online this morning and you'd like to make a contribution to Golden Gate, we would deeply welcome that. You can do that by texting the dollar amount you want to give to the number on the screen, and then just follow the directions. For all of us here, we are going to bless together all the offerings being given this morning and all of those Golden Gate has received this past week in prayer, in financial contributions, in service. So I invite you to, if you have your gift with you, put it over your heart, hold your hands over your heart either way, And those of you at home also, as we bless our offering together by saying, "This gift I give is God in action. I now send it forth to bless and to prosper. I know that everywhere it goes, it is creating a world living in love, one heart and one thought at a time." And so it is. Go ahead.
This song is called "I'm Looking for a Miracle." Some of you probably know this one too. I changed some of the words. At Unity in Marin, we've been doing a book study on Tama Keeve's book, Learning to Trust Yourself. So I changed some of these words to go with that theme, because I did it a couple of weeks ago. And the original words are God will perform it today. And I changed it to I will achieve it today. And I figured God dwells within you as you, right? So if I achieve it, it's I and God. You know, we're one. So I think that works. And another place is God will make a way, and I say I will make a way. So if that bothers you, just use whatever words you want. It's okay. Let's see. I'm looking for a miracle. I expect the impossible. I feel the intangible. I see the invisible. I'm looking for a miracle. I expect the impossible. I feel the intangible. I see the invisible. The sky is the limit to what I can have. The sky is the limit to what I can have. The sky is the limit to what I can have. What I can have. Just believe and receive it. I will achieve it today. Hey, hey, just believe and receive it. I will achieve it today. I believe. Look, whoops, sorry. You know, I always did this with the piano. So then I had to figure out how to do it on my ukulele. I don't play my ukulele for myself as well as my pianist played his piano for me. But here we go. I'm looking for a miracle. Sing it with me. I expect the impossible. I feel the intangible. I see the invisible. I'm looking for a miracle. I expect the impossible. I feel the intangible. I see the invisible. The sky is the limit to what I can have. Yeah. The sky is the limit to what I can have. Oh, yeah. The sky is the limit to what I can have. What I can have. Just believe and receive it. I will achieve it today. Hey, hey, just believe and receive it. I will achieve it today. I expect a miracle every day. I will make a way out of no way. I expect a miracle every day. I will make a way out of no way. I expect a miracle every day. I will make a way out of no way. Just believe and receive it. I will achieve it today. Hey, hey, just believe and receive it. I will achieve it today. Thank you.
So now, we do, all of us together on behalf of Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living, accept this offering, and we send it out in the world to seed more optimism. And so it is.
So it is.
If you are here with us for the very first time today, I want to draw your attention to the table back behind this section. That's our info table, our welcome table, and there's all kinds of information back there, including little affirmation cards and bookmarks and all kinds of things. Please feel free to go back and pick up the things that interest you, and do get a welcome packet. Inside the welcome packet is a magazine and a blue card. Take out that blue card, fill it out, and give it to Galen, who's waving it around back there, and she's going to give you a little book that is our thank you gift for your presence here today with us, and also it's your invitation to come back and be with us in future very often. We look forward to seeing you and getting to know you. Also, I want to thank everybody for their sacred service today, for getting us going. And I want to especially thank Erica Schaefer and Cindy Lou Janison, who did this lovely fall altar for us this morning. And also Jeannie Skybrook, our musician this morning. Yes, and let's acknowledge everybody that put together this lovely, lovely morning. I also want to draw special attention to this wonderful poster that Jet Walker did. Be sure you get to come up and take a look at this. The butterflies keep flying, but we keep sticking them back on there. They like to take off. Glue, yeah, that would be good. So thank you, everybody. Now, I want to let you know that there is coffee this morning, but also we are having today the men's brunch. So immediately after the service, the men are going to be serving brunch. It's only $10. You can get a lovely brunch. So feel free to do that after the service. They'll collect your money. And then right after the brunch, as we, whoops, what happened here? There they are. Right after the brunch, we're going to be going over to the Sunrise Center, which is right down here on Tamalpais on the other side of the street, next door to the Bank of America. And we're having a special presentation this morning that is by Dr. Bijoya Sen from the Buck Institute for Research on Aging. And she is speaking about her research today, which is the science behind living longer and living better longer. There's some new developments in that area. So she's going to be sharing that with us. She's got a little video she's going to show us and a slideshow, and she'll talk a little bit about what the Buck Institute is and what kind of research they're working on. So if you want to live longer, healthier, thriving, you might want to pick this up. We're just doing this as a love offering today, so please feel free to come down. There's parking right there around, and you can park in the bank parking lot today too, because there's nobody over there today. I also want to say happy birthday to David Seltzer, whose birthday is today. Happy birthday, David! Woo! And he has been here helping us get ready for the men's brunch, so we're delighted to celebrate. This brunch is in your honor, David. Also want to remind you that the prayer table is available. You can put in a written prayer request into the prayer box, or you can get a prayer this morning from Deborah Paul. She is the practitioner on duty at the table this morning. And please make sure that you get a chance to get a prayer before breakfast, if you like. Also, I want to invite the practitioners now to surround the room as we prepare to pray us out for the day. And so just allow yourself to be enfolded in the shared consciousness that we're holding here today. All these people in their white stoles are our licensed practitioners. They're not all on duty this morning, but you can sure talk to them if you have questions about practitioners. So let's turn within right now as we recognize once again the wholeness and the allness of the divine presence everywhere in this space and within us. This presence is fully, completely, totally present at every point in time and space. That means right where you are, right now, right where I am, there is nothing but God. It may look like me or you, but this divine presence is appearing through us, as us. It is the wholeness that we are. It is the eternality of our own being. And the mind of God within us knows what we need to know. So we open our minds and our hearts and our hands to receive the guidance that is ours this week to lead us forward in greater faith and optimism, and to reinforce and encourage and support our development in faith and optimism. And we're grateful to see these seeds growing in us and to express and feel and be them in our world. So with gratitude, we let this prayer go into the law, knowing that right now it is unfolding for us without hesitation. And together we say, and so it is. Yes, please stand and join us for the closing blessing and song. As we say together, I now walk so that whoever walks beside me dwells in the presence of God, and whoever places a hand in mine is lifted, and whoever thinks of me is illumined with God consciousness, for spirit and all people and I are one eternally. And so it is. You're going to love this.